Okay.
Good.
So yeah, just wait a minute. Let me. You can start talking.
Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Mobility Flow Live. As always, we'll just allow a few people to filter in, and I'll talk about what we're going to be doing in this class, what we're going to be focusing on today, because this is a very specific edition of Mobility Flow Live, as we're going to be focusing on a topic that is very, very widespread among people that tend to use their hands a lot, especially people that tend to sit with their hand repetitively on a mouse or repetitively use their thumbs or repetitively grip objects. So this would apply to pretty much everybody. If you're a weight trainer, you're going to be gripping objects a lot. If you are a desk worker, you're going to be having your hand on a mouse. We use our phone a lot, we type a lot of us play video games. So this class is very specific towards something called carpal tunnel syndrome. So let's get right into it. So first, I'm just going to tell you what carpal tunnel is and how today's class can help. Now, what is the carpal tunnel? So basically, the carpal tunnel is a narrow passageway that runs through the arm and is comprised of small little bones called the carpal bones. Now, this is very, very narrow, but there's a lot of tendons, a lot of tissues in this narrow passageway in the arm. Now, why carpal tunnel occurs is it's when something called the median nerve, which is one of the main nerves in the arm that originates actually in the neck and travels all the way down the arm through that narrow passageway into those little carpal bones. Now, when the median nerve becomes compressed or squeezed or impinged, this is where carpal pain can occur. And this will show up as maybe numbness or tingling in the fingers. That's sort of the early stages. Then it can lead to loss of function in the hand where you actually lose weakness. You're having a hard time gripping or holding objects. And then it can be leading to complete pain where even just putting weight on the hand or bending the hand can actually cause a lot of pain. So what this class is designed to do is it's going to be very, very simple movements, but isolated movements designed to alleviate pressure on that median nerve. And when that median nerve is no longer squeezed or compressed, then that's where that narrow passageway, all the tendons and tissues have room to breathe, and that's where the hand can restore its function. Carpal pain can be chronic, meaning it can be something that lasts for a very, very long time. Some people actually need to get surgery for it. And it can also be very acute, meaning it can be very, very short term. So for people who maybe spend a lot of time, maybe 1 week on a computer, they might get a little bit of pain in the hand or pain in the front of the wrist when they try to do like a plank or a push-up. So it can be very acute. It can be chronic, it can be acute. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So we're going to get right into it. So let's talk about props, because props today are a little bit different than they have been throughout in Mobility Flow Live. So you're going to need 2 of your blocks, your towel as always, and this is an and/or situation. You're going to need a tiny dumbbell. Now, I know some of you don't have dumbbells at home, so this is where you're going to use your canned good. Either or is absolutely fine. I just want you to have something that has a tiny little bit of weight to it that you can actually hold in your hand. The dumbbell would be maybe 3 to 5 pounds. You need 2, it doesn't even really matter. And the canned good would be just whatever you can find in your house. Cool? So we are going to get started. So I'm going to have you come to a seated position. I like to always sit up on a block. Just feels better for the spine. And we're going to start with something called nerve flossing. So we're going to work to take some irritation away from those nerves in the arm that are being compressed. So go ahead and come up to your seated position. All right, so the first nerve flossing that we're going to do is going to take a little bit of pressure off any tingling that can be occurring in the thumb or the pinky side of the wrist. Now, when you do this nerve flossing, you might actually get some tingling in your hands. Your hands might actually go numb. What that's actually telling you is that you do have a little bit of compression happening through those nerves. So this is actually really helpful for you. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to take your right arm out towards the side with your palm facing forward. Now, you're going to bend the wrist so your fingertips point back behind you. And as you do that, you're going to simultaneously draw the head towards the direction of the hand. So my right ear towards my right shoulder. Then I'm going to go in the opposite direction. I'm going to curl my fingertips towards me as I simultaneously, so I'm kind of making almost like a cup shape with the hand. I'm curling the fingers towards me as I draw the left ear towards the left shoulder. Now, we're going to do this with the breath. So I'm going to inhale as I bend away, draw the ear towards the shoulder. Exhale, curl the fingers towards you, take the left ear to the left shoulder. Okay, so keep going here. Inhale, bend. Exhale, curl. Inhale, bend. Exhale, curl. Okay, we're going to do 8. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. Good. Inhale, 5. Exhale, 5. Inhale, 6. Exhale, 6. Inhale, 7. Exhale, 7. One more. Inhale, 8. Exhale, 8. Great. Go ahead and relax. Now, if you felt a lot of stuff in your neck there, again, that's telling you that there's a lot of compression happening in the neck, which is probably 90% of us. All right, so the next nerve flossing we're going to do, you're going to take your arm out to the side. Now, your head is actually going to stay over towards the left shoulder. So I'm going to keep the head there the entire time. Now, all I'm going to do with my hand is I'm just going to bend the wrist up on the inhale and down on the exhale. That's it, okay? We're going to do 8 of these. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Fingers straight. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, 3. Exhale, 3. Inhale, 4. Exhale, 4. Inhale, 5. Exhale, 5. Inhale, 6. Exhale, 6. Inhale, 7. Exhale. Inhale, 8. Exhale. Good. Now keep your head there. Don't worry if your arm is going numb. Take your arm, draw it a little bit back behind you. Okay, so it's on a little bit of an angle. We're going to do the same thing for 8. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, 2. Exhale, down. Inhale, 3. Exhale, down. Inhale, 4. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and drop your arm. Draw your head back up. Good. Now you might feel like your arm is really heavy. That's fantastic. That's the blood flow going down. So it's going to really, really help to alleviate any pain that's going on. Okay. Last one we're going to do on the side, and then we're going to switch. It's going to be the same thing, but this time my palm is going to face up, and I'm going to just bend it down, the fingertips towards the floor, and then the palm up to the ceiling. So same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and take the left ear over towards the left shoulder, and I'm going to do the same thing. So now I'm going to bend the fingers to the floor, elbow remains straight, and then my palm goes back to face the ceiling. That's it. So inhale, down, exhale, palm up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, 3. Exhale. Inhale, 4. Exhale. Inhale, 5. Exhale. Inhale, 6. Exhale. Inhale, 7. Exhale. Inhale, 8. Exhale. Great. Keep the same thing. Now again, I'm going to draw my arm just a little further back. Try to relax the shoulders down. Same thing here. Inhale as I bend. And I can feel myself going numb here. Exhale, coming up. Try to stay with it. Okay, this is important. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, 3. Exhale. Inhale, 4. Exhale. Inhale, 5. Exhale. Inhale, 6. Good. Inhale, 7. Exhale. Inhale, 8. And exhale. Beautiful. Good. Relax the arm, draw the head back up. Good. Might have felt a little numb there. That's normal. Even if you don't have carpal tunnel pain, we gotta keep that median nerve from getting compressed. We gotta keep that narrow passageway free of compression. So even if you don't have carpal tunnel, this is incredibly helpful for you. So we're gonna start back at the very beginning. So I'm gonna go towards the left side now with my palm facing forward. And now I'm gonna do where I'm gonna bend the wrist. Now I'm gonna draw the ear towards the shoulder. So my fingertips are pointing back behind me. My ear's towards the shoulder. Now, as I curl the fingers towards me, now I draw the head away. And a lot of you might get like a really decent stretch through the side of the neck. Okay, now I'm going to do this with the breath. So I'm going to inhale, bend, ear goes towards the hand. Exhale, it goes away. Inhale, exhale. Good. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Halfway there, guys. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale. Awesome. Good. Go ahead and relax that. If you suffer from headaches, eye strain, from staring at a computer, that one's really, really helpful. Okay, so next one here. So I'm going to have my palm facing down. Again, remember with this one, all I'm doing is just bending as if I'm like making like the idea of pressing stop. So that's all I'm going to do from there. So I'm going to keep the right ear towards the right shoulder. And here I go. I'm going to inhale as I bend up, exhale down. Up on the inhale, down on the exhale. Inhale 3, exhale 3. Ooh, this one's really bad for me. Inhale 4, exhale 4. Inhale 5, exhale 5. Inhale 6, exhale 6. Inhale 7, exhale 7. Inhale 8, exhale 8. Now stay there. I know you might be a little uncomfortable. Stay. Take the arm just a little further back behind you. Same thing here. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, woo, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. These sensations are normal, so stay with them. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 3 more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last one here. Inhale, exhale. Good. Draw that head up, relax down. Whew. Good. Again, sensations are normal, especially if you're struggling with carpal tunnel. If you feel a lot of numbness, even sort of tingling in the fingers, that's normal. Okay, so last one here, and then we're going to move on. So now my palm is going to face up, and all I'm doing is I'm bending so the fingertips face down and the palm faces up. So I'm going to draw the right ear towards the right shoulder. I'm going to inhale as I bend, exhale, come on up. Inhale 2, exhale 2. Inhale 3, exhale 3. Inhale 4, exhale 4. Inhale 5, exhale 5. Inhale 6, exhale 6. Inhale 7, exhale 7. Inhale 8, exhale 8. Awesome. Stay with the head. Draw the arm just a little further behind you. Same thing. Inhale, bend. Exhale, palm up. Inhale 2, exhale 2. Inhale 3, exhale 3. Inhale 4, exhale 4. Inhale 5, exhale 5. Inhale 6, exhale 6. Inhale 7, exhale 7. Inhale 8, exhale 8. Good. Relax the arm, draw the head back up. Beautiful. Okay. Little finger exercises. Really, really important if you are typing a lot. So all I'm going to do with my hands is I'm just going to touch the tip of my thumb to each finger, but I want to almost make like a circle when I'm doing it. So I don't just want to tap. I want to make a big circle, and that's going to floss out all those nerves. So I'm going to tap to the first finger. I'm going to tap to the second and the third and the fourth. And you're just going to keep going. Tap, 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 tap. 2 more. Tap, 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 tap. So simple. And tap, 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 tap. Beautiful. Good. All right. So now we're going to do these slides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thumb, and from the top of each finger, I'm going to slide my thumb all the way down each finger. Now, I would encourage you to do one hand at a time, but today we're going to do two hands just because we have a lot to cover. So if you do this on your own, you're going to do this one hand at a time. So I'm going to start by curling from the top of the finger all the way down. So I'm just doing these nice little slides from the top of the finger down. We're going to do 3. So I'm going to slide for 2. Good. And I'm going to slide for 3. Good. Okay, now I want to go from the bottom of the finger all the way up. So I'm going to slide from the bottom all the way up. Good. For 2, the thumb is sliding all the way up. Okay, so this is helping to build back the function in the fingers if you do have carpal tunnel. So slide, 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 and slide. Beautiful. So now I did my thumbs with fingers. Now I want to do fingers to the thumb. So it's just the fingers to the thumb. So I'm going to start at the top to the bottom. Top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. Good. Okay, so now I want to go from the bottom to the top. So bottom of the thumb, up. Bottom of the thumb, up. So each finger, bottom of the thumb, up. 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 Bottom, up. Last one. Bottom, up. Bottom, up. Bottom, up. Bottom, up. Good. Shake it out. Pretty straightforward. Extremely helpful. All right. So let's move on. So go ahead and prop up off of your prop if you're sitting up on one. Go ahead and grab your towel. We're going to fold it up so we can get a little bit of mobility in the wrist or regain some mobility. So go ahead and take your towel, fold it over once, and then roll that up. So you've got a thick roll. Smooth that out. Okay, go ahead and put that down in front of you, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the heels of my hands, and you can just have your hands wherever you like them, maybe even just facing forward is fine. So I want to place the heels of my hand on the towel so my fingertips are spread on the floor, my knees are going to be all under the hips. Now all you're going to do is you're going to rock back and forth. Now, I encourage you, if you do have wrist pain, to move very slowly when you do this. And all we're trying is to just get that wrist to bend a little bit, stretch the muscles that are running through that carpal tunnel, and just regaining a little bit of mobility back in the wrist. This is a really good exercise to prep for when you're doing a lot of work on your hands, so push-ups, planks before a yoga class, mobility class, doing a little bit of work to build some function back in the wrist. So just kind of keep going there. Good. One more. Awesome. Go ahead and come up off of that. Now, we're going to do something called a finger pull. So I'm going to put my, whatever hand you want, right or left, doesn't matter. Put my hand flat on the floor. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fingers and I'm just pulling them up off the floor. So they're on the floor. I'm just going to pull them up off the floor one at a time. Okay, so I'm going to set that hand down. I'm going to pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, even the thumb, pull up. Good. Again, pull, 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 pull. One more. Pull, 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 pull. Good. Same thing other side. Now let's say you do have carpal tunnel and that was really hard for you to put weight on your hand. It felt painful. You're going to do this just standing, where what you're going to do is you're going to have the hand out in front of you or seated, and you're just going to push the fingers forward, okay, if you couldn't put weight on your hand, okay? I'm going to do the same thing other side. I'm either up here and just pushing on the fingers, or I'm going to be down here and I'm going to do that same thing. So I'm going to pull, pull up, 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 pull up. One more. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Great. Okay. Go ahead and grab the towel that you had that was folded up the way that it was. Come to any seated position that feels comfortable for you. I'm just going to go here, but if you want to go back on your block, that's what you're going to do. So with a nice firm grip on my towel, I'm going to take an overhand grip and take the towel out in front of me. I want to have no slack in the middle of the towel. So I want to really, really pull that tight. Now, all I'm going to do with my right hand is I'm going to take that towel and think that I'm kind of wringing out tension. So I'm curling the knuckles to the floor, then I'm curling the knuckles towards my face. Okay, and I'm just going to go back and forth from there. So I'm curling the knuckles to the floor, curling to my face, curling to the floor, curling to the face, curling down for 4, curling back, curling down, curling, and 6, good, and 7, good, and 8, and good. Awesome. Next side. So really focus on curling down and then curling towards you. So we're getting the wrist to bend in 2 directions. Curl down, towards, down, towards, down, towards, down, towards, and 6, good, and 7, good, and 8, and good. Beautiful. That's a good one. Definitely encourage you, if you're going to do that on your own, maybe do 2 or 3 more sets of that. All right, so now this is where your dumbbell or your soup can or whatever can you have is going to come into practice. So you're going to go ahead and grab both of your blocks. I'm going to stack them one on top of the other. I'm either going to grab what I have, my dumbbell or my can, good, and I'm going to demonstrate with both, so don't worry. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sit in this sort of position where my knees are under my hips and my forearm is on my block, but the wrist is hanging over the edge, and the other hand can just be on the floor for support. Now, with a fist around whatever it is that I'm grasping, so let me just start with my soup can here. Okay, now, keeping my wrist nice and straight. This is really important. If your wrist is bending towards the thumb or the finger, your wrist is not straight. You want to try to find a neutral wrist. This is so important. Now, once I have that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to curl my knuckles up. So I've got a little bend in the wrist, and now the forearm muscles are contracting. Then I'm going to go back to neutral. So I'm going to curl up, and I'm going to curl down. Okay, we're going to do 10 of those. You might feel a little bit of action happening in the forearm. That's good. Let me grab my dumbbell so I can show you guys with both. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to have my wrist nice and straight, and all I'm going to do is curl up, neutral. Curl up, neutral. And 3, good. And 4, good. 5, good. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Gotta get those forearm muscles strong. Beautiful. So now I'm going to go in the opposite direction. So now I'm going to turn my palm to face up. Okay. And now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to curl the same way, but this time I want my wrist to fall a little bit. So I'm going to let it fall down just a little bit, then I'm going to curl up. Now you're not going to have a lot of range here. It's not going to be a big curl. It's going to be really small, but now I want to try 10 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and lower, get a little stretch, then I'm going to curl for 1. Lower, curl for 2. Lower, curl for 3. Lower, and 4. Lower, 5. Lower, 6. Lower, 7. Lower, 8. Lower, 9. Lower, and 10. Great work. So you probably felt a lot happening there in the forearm. This is also good rehab if you are struggling with any wrist pain, you have weak grip strength. Definitely if you're a weight trainer, really, really helpful. So let's do one more set on this side, and then we're going to switch to the other. So you're going to grab whatever object you have. So I'm going to start back at the beginning. So this is now where I'm going to curl the knuckles to face up. So I'm starting with my wrist neutral, which means your dumbbell will probably be on an angle. So here I go. So I'm going to curl for 1, neutral. 2, neutral. 3, neutral. 4, neutral. 5, neutral. 6, neutral. 7, 8, none of the form. Okay, so now I'm going to do the other side. Okay, start with my wrist neutral. Now I'm going to let it just fall just a little bit. Then I'm going to curl up. Good. Lower for 2. Lower for 3. Lower for 4. Lower for 5. Lower 6. Lower 7. Lower 8. Lower 9. Lower and 10. Beautiful. Carefully put that dumbbell down. Beautiful. All right, guys. So now I'm going to switch to the other side. So I'm just going to face on over here. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other arm. And again, whatever object you're using does not matter. Especially if you do have carpal tunnel, you might want to start with a little bit of a lighter object and then progress to 3 or 5 pound dumbbell. So let's start here. So I'm going to start with my soup can just to kind of show you guys, give you some variety here. So I'm going to do the same thing, let my wrist fall over. My wrist is neutral to start, so my soup can will be on an angle. So I'm going to do 10 here. So I'm going to curl up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. If you need to drop it for a sec, go ahead and drop it. Otherwise, go ahead and turn up. Start with that wrist nice and neutral. So now I'm going to let the wrist fall a little bit, get a little bit of stretch through those nerves in that narrow passageway. So here's where the carpal tunnel is. So then I'm going to curl up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Beautiful. Good. So do one more set here. So I'll demonstrate now with the dumbbell. Give your arm a little shake. A lot of isolated forearm work there. So let's go ahead and do one more set, and then we're going to move on. So now I'm going to start with everything facing down. I'm going to start with my wrist neutral, and you can see my dumbbell is actually on a little bit of an angle here. And then I'm going to do 10 curls. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. If you need a break, take a break. Otherwise, go ahead and flip to face up, start neutral, and then let it fall just a little bit, get a little stretch. Then I'm going to curl up for 1, 2. So I'm also doing like a bicep curl for my forearm. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job, guys. Carefully put that on down. Great, and then you can go ahead and get those props out of the way. So we're going to proceed to go to lie on our stomachs here. We're going to take a block with us. So I'm going to go ahead and lie on my belly, and I'm going to take a block for my head. Now I'm going to be a little bit of a stickler with how I want you to do this, because this is super important. So since we are working with the carpal tunnel, as I said in the beginning, the carpal tunnel pain actually originates in the neck. So this is really important that we work to hold our neck in a stable position. So before you actually get on your belly to do this, I want you guys to just watch me do this once. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lie down on my tummy. I say tummy like I'm 12. Now I'm going to use the block to support just the tip of my forehead. So you can adjust the block vertically or horizontally. Honestly, it does not matter at all. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to set myself up into my stomach position. So I'm going to bring my legs wide. It just feels better for me. And I'm going to push my hip bones down to the floor so I can actually turn on my glutes. Okay. Now, what I want to do with my forehead is my chin is actually slightly tucked. And that's going to feel like a little bit of a stretch to the back of the neck. Now, what I'm going to do with my arms is I'm going to have my thumbs facing down so that just the tips of my nails are on the floor. And again, I'm tucking that chin. Now, I want to make this like one smooth motion. Now, as I start to
lift the forehead and the chest up. I'm going to roll my triceps towards one another and pinch my shoulder blades. Now, I do not want your head to come forward. This is where we compress that median nerve. I want to keep the chin slightly tucked, but also feel like I'm also trying to give myself a double chin. Then I'm going to lower everything to the floor. So it's going to be a simultaneous lift. So as I peel the chest a little bit up, my shoulder blades squeeze. So let me show you one together. So I'm going to lift and squeeze, hold for count of 2, lower. Okay? So it's really important that you don't let your head change. For me, I feel a lot in the back of my neck, but this is generally where I am the tightest. You might feel in the sides or in the front. Okay? So we're going to do a couple of these. So go ahead and set yourself down. Put just the tip of the forehead on the block. Tuck the chin slightly. So you're almost kind of looking sort of down towards your collarbones. Thumbs face the floor. Okay? We're going to hold the squeeze for 2 counts. So drag the shoulder blades down the back, just the tips of the thumb on the floor. Tuck the chin. Here we go. Lift, squeeze, hold. 1, 2. Lower down. 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 3 more there. Lift, squeeze, hold. 1, 2. Lower down. Last 2. Lift, squeeze, hold. 1, 2. Lower down. Last 1. Lift, squeeze, hold. 1, 2. Lower down. Beautiful. Go ahead and relax. Now you might have felt a lot, especially through the neck. Okay, that's showing you that's where most of your tension wants to go. So we're going to do something a little bit different here. Same aspect. We're going to put our arms in a different place, and I want you to really focus on squeezing your lower shoulder blades. So now I'm going to take my arms out, almost like a letter W, and my thumbs are going to be facing the ceiling. So just the tips of my baby fingers are going to be on the floor. Now I'm going to do the same thing, except this time I want to focus on, I'm going to tuck my chin, I'm going to lift, squeeze. I want to think about squeezing my lower shoulder blades as I keep my chin slightly tucked and then lower everything back to the floor. Okay? Try 8 of those. So just the tip of the forehead, tuck the chin slightly, thumb faces the ceiling. Here I go. I'm going to lift, squeeze, hold. 1, 2. Lower, lift. 1, 2. Lower, lift. 1, 2. Lower, lift. 1, 2. Lower, lift. 1, 2. Lower, 3 more, lift. 1, 2. Lower, lift. 1, 2. Lower, last one, lift. 1, 2. Lower. Beautiful. All right, guys, go ahead and come up off of your bellies. So again, we have a lot to cover today in 1 hour. So if you are going to be doing this or repeating this class, which I definitely encourage you to do, you can definitely do multiple sets. But again, I just want to cover all those angles of that sciatic nerve, or the carpal tunnel sciatic nerve. So that's what we're going to focus on today. All right, guys. So now what I want to work with is I want to work with something called some tendon gliding. So go ahead and come up off of your belly. And we're going to come back to a seated position. And now we're going to go back to some isolated hand movements, kind of like we did at the beginning. So what is tendon gliding? So tendon gliding is used to alleviate pressure on the tendons that are being compressed and squeezed in that narrow passageway of that carpal tunnel. So these movements for the hand can really be helpful to alleviate pain and tingling in the fingers and in the wrist and in the hand. Tendons need to glide smoothly through the carpal tunnel in order for the hand, the fingers, and the wrist to function optimally. So these movements are really important. So go ahead and come back up to a seated position. All right, sitting up on something would be ideal because we're just going to be working with the hand. All right, so we're going to do one hand at a time for this. Okay, so if you've got really bad carpal tunnel and it hurts to bend your elbow, you can do this with your arms straight out in front of you or even down by your side. Okay, but I encourage you to have the elbow bent and the fingers facing up. Now, this is super important. You want to glue your thumb
to the inside of that first finger. So we don't want that thumb to pop off. I want to glue it to the inside of that first finger, and I want it to stay there. Now, all I'm going to do from here is I'm going to curl the fingers down. So I'm literally just taking the sort of tips of the fingers and gluing them to the bottom of the fingers. Okay, and then I'm going to uncurl them. But notice how my thumb doesn't change. Okay, so I'm going to do this again. So I'm going to curl and up. Curl, up, curl, up. 2 more. Curl, up. Last one. Curl and up. Great. And go ahead and relax that. Okay? Tendon gliding. Doesn't seem like it does much, but this is one of the best things for carpal tunnel. So now what we actually want to do is we want to go and make a fist, but we want to curl our thumb over, and keeping our wrist nice and straight, we want to squeeze as hard as we can. And as we squeeze, we're going to feel some tension in the forearm. That's going to help to alleviate some of that pressure. So I'm going to start with like almost like a high five symbol. Then I'm going to go ahead and curl that thumb arm over, squeeze, and then release the fingers. Squeeze, release the fingers. Squeeze, release. 2 more. Squeeze, release. Last one. Squeeze and release. Great. Okay. Now I'm going to do something called the L position. So I'm almost going to make, kind of looks like an L, but not really. So now I want to do the same thing where I take the thumb and glue it. But now what I'm going to do with my fingers, bringing all of them together, I'm going to curl them down. So I'm almost making like, kind of like an L with my fingers and bringing them back up. But when I bring them back up, I'm spreading them. But when I lower them, I'm bringing them together. But again, my thumb does not move. Okay, so we're going to try 5 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that thumb. Now my fingers go together. I'm going to curl down, come up, spread. Curl down, come up, spread. Curl down, come up, spread. 2 more. Curl down and spread. Last one. Curl down and spread. Good. Okay. Last one here before we switch to the other side. So now this is going to be a play on the first one we did, but instead of bringing just the fingers to the base of the knuckle, now we're going to be curling the fingers all the way down to the bottom of the wrist or the heel of the hand. But again, our thumb does not change. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that thumb. Now I want to take all of my fingers and curl them down. Good. And then bring them up. Curl them down and up. Curl down and up. 2 more. Curl down and up. Last one. Curl down and up. Good. And relax that. Good. So some tendon gliding, alleviating the pressure on that median nerve, on those tendons that are being compressed through that passageway, allowing the wrist and the hand to function optimally. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch to the other side. So the first one I'm going to do, remember, I'm going to curl just the fingers down. Okay, so I'm going to keep the thumb glued, and here I go. I'm going to curl for 1, come on up. Curl for 2, and up. Curl for 3, up. Curl for 4, up. Curl for 5, and up. Good. Now I'm going to go ahead and make my fist with my thumb over. So I'm going to squeeze that thumb over, come back up, high five. Squeeze, high five. Squeeze, high five. Squeeze, high five. And squeeze, high five. Great. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and make that L. So I'm going to, again, lock the thumb. I'm going to start with my fingers spread. Then I'm going to bring them together as I make that L and up. L and up. L and up. 2 more. L and up. Last one. L and up. Good. Okay, so then the last one here. Remember, I'm going to take those fingers now and I'm going to curl them to the bottom of that wrist. Okay, so I'm going to glue the thumb. I'm going to take my fingers, bring them down towards the heel of the hand, right back up. Down and up. Good. Down and up. Good. Down and up. One more. Down and up. Beautiful. And relax that. Great. Okay, guys, we're going to move on. So there's your tendon gliding. Just like we don't give our feet enough TLC, we don't do the same with our hands. We've got to really do those movements to exercise those hands. All right, so now you're going to need a block for this, maybe even both of your blocks, because you might want to sit on it. But again, I'll show you different ways to sit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this block to help me create rotation. So I'm going to start with my knees underneath my hips. I'm going to put my right hand on the floor. Now, for those of you who do have carpal tunnel and have a hard time putting weight on your hand, okay, you can take the towel that you had folded up and you can put just the heel of the hand on that towel. So you're not bending the wrist as much, okay? If that's still too much, you're going to use just a fist, okay? We're not going to be here for too long. So I'm going to put my hand nice and flat, like we've been talking about. I want to turn my hand out just a little bit, so I'm not here. I'm going to turn that hand out just a little, okay? I'm going to grab the block so it's horizontally to my body. I'm going to take just an overhand grip at that left hand, and with this block, I'm going to be creating a little bit of rotation through my spine. So I'm going to go ahead and put my right hand on the floor, my knees under my hips. I've got my block in my left hand. I'm going to push that right shoulder blade to the ceiling. Now, all I'm going to do with my block is I'm going to reach underneath towards the right. I'm going to go as far as I can without letting my right elbow bend. Then I'm going to untwist to come back to neutral. Okay, so I'm going to go underneath, create rotation, come on back, create rotation for 3, come on back, 2 more here, create rotation for 4, come on back, last one, create rotation for 5, and come on back. Great. So now you're going to go back to a seated position. So I'm going to come sitting my hips on my heels, but if you want to take that block and go ahead and prop yourself up into a seated position on that block, that's fine as well. Now you're going to take your arms out in front of you. Okay, now with my arms out in front of me, without letting my spine arch, I'm going to take my arms behind me as far as I can without letting my spine arch. Then I'm going to bend my elbows and wrap my left hand behind my lower back and my right hand on top. Okay. Now what I want to try to do is I want to use these hands to push into my lower back to create an arch through my spine. So I'm arching up and over, letting my throat open. Now for a count of 5, I want to squeeze my shoulder blades together. So I'm pulling my elbows back behind the body. I'm spreading through my collarbones. I'm squeezing. Then I'm going to drop my rib cage to come back to neutral. Then I'm going to release my arms with the thumbs facing the floor and then bring my arms back out in front of me. Okay, so we're going to do 5 of those. My arms go here, they go here. I'm going to bend with my right hand on top. Then I'm going to squeeze and hold for 5. And then I'm going to come on back, release the arms out in front of me. Okay, so we're going to do 5 of these. So arms here, bend, right hand on top, arch the upper back, squeeze and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the wrist to come back to neutral. Release the arms, thumbs face the floor, out in front of you. Again, behind, bend, right hand on top, arch, squeeze, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Neutral ribs, thumbs face the floor, out in front of you. Again, back, bend, arch, squeeze, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the ribs, thumbs behind you, out in front. There you go. 2 more. Behind, bend, arch, squeeze, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the ribs, release the thumbs, out in front of you. 1 more here. Behind, bend, right hand still on top, arch, squeeze those low shoulder blades, open those throats. 3, 2, 1. Drop the ribs, release the thumbs, arms out in front of you, relax. Okay, you're gonna do the same thing the other side now. So now I'm gonna put my left hand on the floor. I'm gonna grab my block with the right hand. I'm gonna go ahead and set that left hand down. So I wanna create that rotation. Feel like I'm wrapping my rib cage underneath, but I'm using the block as a little bit of weight to help me, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that block. I'm gonna reach underneath and then come on back. Reach underneath and back. Reach for 3 and back. 2 more. Reach for 4 and back. Reach for 5 and back. Great. So you're going to come back to your seated position. For those of you who did sit cross-legged, I'll kind of demonstrate here so you can get a view of both. Okay, it doesn't matter how you're sitting. I care more about what's happening in your spine. So now when we do 5 here, now we want our left hand to be on top as opposed to our right on the other side. So now I'm going to do that same thing. So arms out in front of me, swing them behind me, bend, left hand on top. Left hand on top. Now I want to arch and squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the ribs, release the arms, thumbs face the floor, out in front of you. Again, behind, bend, left hand on top, arch, squeeze, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax there, thumbs behind you, out in front. Okay, again, behind, left hand on top, arch, squeeze, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the ribs, thumbs to the floor, out in front of you. 2 more. Behind, bend, left hand on top. Really push into that lower back to help you arch the collarbones. Now squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the ribs, thumbs face the floor, out in front of you. Last one. Behind, bend, left hand on top. Arch those shoulder blades, squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Thumbs face the floor, out in front of you, relax. Great. Okay, everybody, really good job. So last little bit here, we're gonna go ahead and come down onto our back. So we're gonna do this really kind of like funky little spinal rotation, hip rotation, shoulder thing. And again, this is designed to just kind of floss out all the tension that runs through the neck, through the entire body. So it takes a little bit to get the hang of, but again, I'm going to demonstrate the first few really slowly, and then we'll kind of go from there. So the first one we'll do really slow. So I'm going to go ahead and prop down on my back. Just want to make sure everything is out of the way. Okay. All right. Now, once I'm on my back, I'm going to start, so I'm going to twist a bit over here, so I'm not hitting stuff. So I'm going to start with sliding my right leg out because I'm going to twist towards you guys. So let's do that first. So I'm going to start on the ground. I'm going to keep my left foot on the floor, and I'm just going to slide my left leg, oh my gosh, slide my right leg out straight. So my left foot's going to be on the floor, my right leg is going to be out straight. Again, I'm going to do the first one really slowly. What I'm going to do with my arms is I'm going to reach them over my head, and I've got a couch in the way here. So let's say your arms are straight. Now, I'm going to twist away from the foot that's on the floor. So if my left foot's on the floor, I'm going to twist towards the right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to turn towards the right. My right ear is going to rest on my right shoulder. My left hand's going to come on the floor, and my right leg is just going to kind of cross over the body, that it's just kind of hanging on the floor. Then I'm going to push off that left hand so I come right back to that foot on the floor and my starting position with my arms overhead. Okay, so let me show you that again. So I'm going to start with both feet on the floor. For today's purpose, I'm going to slide my right leg out straight first. I'm going to take my arms overhead. Now I'm going to start to
kind of twist over towards the right. Now my right ear is going to rest on my right shoulder. My left hand's going to hit the floor, and my left leg is going to cross over the body till the knee hits the ground. Then I'm going to push off of that hand to come right back onto my back until my foot's on the floor, my arms are overhead, and then I'm going to set them back down. So it's kind of like you're rolling. Okay, we're going to do 3 of these each side. So let's start back at the beginning all together. So I'm going to take my right leg out straight, my arms overhead. I'm going to twist and turn to the right, put that left hand on the floor, put the left knee on the floor, hang out there for a moment, unravel that, come back down onto my back, left foot on the floor, arms over the head, lower the arms to my sides. Again, arms overhead, twist, hand, knee, unravel, foot on the floor, arms down by the sides. Last one here. Overhead, turn, foot and knee rest. Good. Unravel, foot on the floor, arms overhead, relax, and then foot back on the ground. Okay, makes sense? So now I'm going to twist towards the other side. And again, just for argument's sake, I'm going to switch over to the other side. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to take my left leg out straight. So if my left leg is going out straight, that means that I'm going to twist away from that right knee because I want to be able to put that right knee on the floor. Okay, so let's start. Both feet on the ground. Go ahead and slide the left leg out straight. Okay, take the arms overhead. Now start to roll so that you're resting the left ear on the left shoulder. Right hand goes, right knee goes. Unravel, foot on the floor, arms overhead, arms down by the sides. 2 more here. Arms overhead, roll, rest the ear, the hand, knee crosses over. Unravel, foot on the floor, arms overhead, alongside of you. 1 more here. Arms overhead, roll on over, drop the hand and the knee, unravel, go ahead and come on back, lower the arms, foot on the floor. Great job. Okay. Last little piece here. This one feels really good. Again, we're going to finish where we started. So you're going to come back to seated position, ideally sitting up on a block. We're just going to work to stretch out the front of the neck, and then you guys are pretty much done. So go ahead and come to a seated position. So again, carpal tunnel, 9 times out of 10, originates in the neck, but it shows up in the hand. So we can't just treat the hand and the forearm. We have to treat where it's originating from, which is where that median nerve starts. Okay, so we're going to finish with my favorite. We're going to stretch in through the muscles in the neck, which is going to go all the way into the chest, into the arms, into the hand. So you're going to go ahead and take your right hand. You're going to find your collarbone. Okay, so your clavicle there. You're going to put your left hand right underneath that right collarbone. So left hand right underneath right collarbone. On skin is ideal. So if you can slide your hand underneath your shirt, that would be fantastic because we're going to be pulling on the skin a little bit. So with my hand, left hand underneath that right collarbone, now I'm going to put my right hand on top. Now this is really important. I want you to pull the skin down. Now as you pull the skin down, you're going to get a little bit of a pull through those neck muscles. Now, little disclaimer here, when you do this, you're going to feel like your neck muscles, you might feel like your neck muscles are ripping. I want you to know that that is productive, that is okay. Go within the means that feels comfortable for you. If you want to draw the head more or less, feel free to, but try to stay with your breath. Be with the discomfort just a little bit because the reward is great. Okay, so as I pull the skin down, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my head back so I'm looking up. Now, as I look up, I want to swing the left ear over to the left shoulder. So my head is tilted back and over. Now, once I have that, I'm going to feel a nice pull through the front of the right side of the neck. And I want to pull the skin down as I let that head come over. You're going to feel a nice big pull, and I'm going to breathe in through the nose,
Out through the nose. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Now I'm going to take my head and I'm just going to move it around and around. So I'm doing something called flossing. So I'm kind of flossing out all the junk that is kind of hanging out there in the neck. You might feel some stuff going on there, some crankiness, some pulling. Know that that's normal. Just move it around a little bit. Now to come out of this, ear back to shoulder. Head back behind you so you're looking up. Draw the head back neutral. Release the hands. Good. Okay, take your time with this. Same on the other side. Right hand, find that left collarbone, put it underneath. Put the left hand on top. Now again, I want to pull that skin down. So pull it down. So I get that nice pull. Then I want to take the head, draw it back, swing the right ear over to the right shoulder, hang out there for a moment. Feel everything in the front of the neck, a nice little pull, nice little tug, and then 2 very distinct breaths here. In through the nose, out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. Good, now I'm going to go ahead and floss. Take that head, swing it around and around. Get out all of that junkiness there. Good. Just look for those sticky points. Good. And then once I'm done flossing, I'm going to draw the ear over towards the shoulder. Swing it back behind me so I'm looking up. Bring it back to neutral. And then I'm going to go ahead and release my hands. Then you want to give your shoulders a little shake there. Up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. Maybe you want to do up, forward, and down. All right, everybody. Great. So there is your movement for carpal tunnel. As always, thank you so much for being here today. If you have any questions, go ahead and prop them up now. Otherwise, you can reach me at jen2ns@freeruninc.com. I'm happy to answer them for you. Oh my God, neck flossing and tendon flossing. Damn. yeah. So it's a lot. Some of us actually don't even realize the props, babe. Some of us don't realize how compressed our nerves actually are until we actually start to do this nerve flossing. So my friend Helen brought that up, that she's noticing, wow, I didn't realize how helpful that is. Even it's just little movements of the hand. And she does work at a desk. So this is definitely helpful for her. I can't even read that. Oh my God, my vision. That was awesome. Vera, awesome. Vera. Thank you, Vera, for showing up. So reach me, jen@freerunning.com. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for being here today. Hopefully this class was helpful. Repeat it. You know where to find it. Thank you guys so much. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you guys next time.